is Kerrie Holley. I'm an IBM Fellow, and I'm responsible for an SOA Center of Excellence. Today I'm delighted to talk about service-oriented architecture, various issues, topics that are top of mind. Clearly, cloud computing has replaced SOA as the latest marketing buzz, and that's natural. We'll see different buzzwords enter our vocabulary, enter the market every year. But most importantly, SOA is still hot on the agenda of executives. They want to understand how they can actually gain value by adopting SOA. I've met with several executives already this year where it's hot on their agenda. But what's most interesting is the convergence between SOA and cloud computing. Clearly, those clients that have made progress in their adoption of SOA are finding much greater business value, much greater dividends with their cloud initiatives. There has been a lack of consensus on what SOA means. We find that based on role, people define SOA differently. We find those definitions vary by vendor, they vary by analyst, they vary by company. But what's most important is that there is a standard that myself and one of my chief architects contributed to, OSIM. That standard, which has been adopted by major companies, part of the Open Group, does lay out a specific roadmap and set of guidelines as to what SOA is. SOA is not binary. It has different value propositions. As you move up the maturity curve, your adoption in terms of scope expands and the business value expands accordingly. Clearly defining business goals for SOA initiatives is paramount to the success of those initiatives. What we see in a lot of projects is a lack of measurable goals. We see a lot of platitudes. I want flexibility. Well, how will we actually achieve flexibility? Projects that have measurable goals will find greater business buy-in to SOA adoption than those that don't. SOA is often a IT-led initiative, but clearly it serves its audience best. It serves the business best when it's a business-led initiative. More often than not, we see architects seeking perfection. And the question, you should ask your architects, are you an astronaut or are you an astronomer? And at the end of the day, we need our architects to be both. We need them to have vision, but we need them to execute. Perfection is not the goal. The business outcome is the goal. And so the perfect framework is not what we ought to be doing. What we ought to be doing is incremental success and creating these business outcomes. The amount of organizational change and change management required in SOA adoptions will vary. For example, when our goal is to bring about flexibility and agility, we're going to see that the amount of collaboration, the degree of efficiency is going to be directly proportional to the convergence between business and IT and the fact that both stakeholders are working closely together. On the other hand, we will see some adoptions that don't require that degree of cooperation, that we can be lower on the maturity curve, still create some valuable business outcomes, but not require the same convergence between business and IT. Thank you for listening today. I hope we can continue this conversation on InfoBoom, and stay tuned for my forthcoming book on 100 of the toughest questions on SOA.